Are you learning more than one language? Do you ever feel like your brain is mixing them up or sometimes struggle to find the right balance between them? Hello everyone, it's Lett here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're like me and learning more than one language simultaneously, it can be a bit overwhelming trying to keep everything straight. In today's video, I'm going to share some tips for learning multiple languages at once without mixing them up and how to keep them organized. Whether juggling two, three, or even more languages, these strategies will help you stay organized, avoid confusion, and make steady progress in each one. Before we dive into the tips, I want to share a bit about my language learning journey. My native language is Burmese, and I started learning English in primary school. When I was 7, my parents sent me to a Chinese school, and that's when I began learning Chinese. Fast forward to when I was 16, I added Korean to the mix. I was obsessed with K-dramas at that time. By the time I turned 19 during the COVID-19 pandemic, I started picking up Japanese, and most recently at 21, I've been learning Thai since I'm currently studying in Thailand. Thai has been the most challenging one so far, with its 5 tones and tricky pronunciations, but I'm handling it well. While I learned English and Chinese through formal classes, I've been self-studying the other languages and I'm still learning every day. Now, without further ado, let's jump into the tips. The very first tip would be know where you are going. One of the most important things when learning multiple languages is having a clear goal for each one. Here, I mean realistic goals. If you are just starting out and already trying to sound like a native, you will most likely to lose confidence and motivation. Ask yourself why you're learning the language and what you want to achieve. Whether it's passing a language proficiency test, traveling, or being able to watch movies without subtitles, having a goal helps you stay motivated and focused. For me, I set specific goals like passing a GLPT N1 for Japanese and mastering conversational skills for my Thai trips. These goals keep me on track and prevent me from losing sight of what I started learning in the first place. Having that focus helps to ensure that I'm always making steady progress and not just getting lost in the process. Moving on to that is test yourself. To really improve and keep your languages from getting mixed up, consistency is key. I like to test myself regularly to see if I've forgotten anything by doing things like singing a song, writing down whatever comes to mind, and most importantly, speaking. Speaking is the most challenging yet the most crucial part. After all, it's frustrating to study the language if you can have a conversation in it. It's great if you have a language partner to practice speaking with, but if you don't have one, there's a great option for you, which is today's sponsor, italki. It's one thing to learn vocabulary and grammar, but speaking really takes your skills to the next level. Italki is a place where you can learn one-on-one lessons with certified teachers from all over the world, anytime, anywhere. Whether you are preparing for an exam, wanting to improve your listening and speaking skills, or starting from scratch, italki offers lessons in over 150 languages. There's no subscription, no commitments, you just pay per lesson, so you are completely in control of studying at your own pace without worrying about rigid schedules or fixed fees and learn the way that works for you. Let me quickly show you how easy it is to book a lesson on italki. With over 30,000 teachers, you can use filters to search by language, availability, price, and even teachers who speak your native language, perfect for beginners who need that extra bit of support. Once you've found the teacher you prefer, just click the book button, and there you go.
你们现在在学校还有其他人学习中文吗？
我的朋友之间是没有的。
没有，对。
但是很多泰国学生学中文，因为在泰国，如果我们懂中文，我们会获得更多工作机会。
对，泰国人也有很多人在学我也有泰国的学生，对他们也有人在学
土木工程
有这个专业，对，土木工程。
Additionally, you can enhance your language skills by connecting with others and practicing for free within the italki community, where you can meet and exchange experiences with millions of fellow language learners. If you're ready to boost your language skills, click the link below in the description box to start your language learning journey. And guess what? For the first 50 users, you will get $5 free when you buy $10 worth of lessons using my promo code. So don't miss this opportunity. Now, let's get back on our tip. Separate learning time. That on the list is the importance of separating your learning time for each language. I like to designate specific times of the day or even certain days of the week for each language. This is my weekly language learning schedule. I study Chinese on Tuesdays and Saturdays, Japanese on Mondays and Fridays, and Korean on Wednesdays and Sundays. Since I'm currently focusing on Thai, I dedicate some time each day to it. This approach helps me avoid switching back and forth too quickly, allowing my brain to concentrate on one language at a time. It's also essential to keep your schedule flexible. There are days when I don't feel like studying, and during those times, I simply swap out my planned lessons for enjoyable activities like watching movies or listening to music instead. But if you're the type of person who works well with rules and guidelines, go with a strict schedule. One at a time. Starting to learn multiple languages simultaneously from the beginner level is not a good option, as it can significantly hinder your progress. This may work if the languages are different, but it's tricky to learn two similar languages from a beginner at once, as you'll often confuse them. My advice is to focus on one language at a time, immersing yourself in it until you reach an intermediate or advanced level. Once you achieve that, you can begin learning a new language while continuing to maintain your proficiency in the first one. I try to learn one language till I reach an upper intermediate level. For me, I learned Chinese and Korean first before Japanese. So when I learned Japanese with the Nihongo Somatome textbook, I can practice learning all three languages at once, since it includes translations into three languages. Focus on the unique aspects of each language. Each language has its own unique elements, and focusing on these differences really helps. For example, Chinese is all about characters and tones. Japanese has kanji and two writing systems. Thai has its own script and tonal pronunciation, and Korean uses Hangul, which is phonetic alphabet. By focusing on what makes each language unique, you can create stronger mental associations and reduce confusion. This way, you are training your brain to see each language as its own system. Take it slow, one step at a time. When you're learning multiple languages, it's important to pace yourself. Don't rush through your lessons just to check them off the list. Take it slow and make sure you've fully absorbed what you've learned before moving on. I made a habit of warming up before I start learning one language by listening to one or two songs or podcasts. The key is to give yourself enough time to digest each language so you don't get them mixed up. Immerse yourself in contextual learning. Context is everything. One of the ways I avoid mixing up my languages is by immersing myself in the culture and media of each language. When I'm watching a Chinese drama, I'm fully immersed in Chinese. I'm listening, thinking, and even speaking in Chinese. Later, if I switch to a Korean show, I completely switch my mindset to Korean. The same goes for when I'm reading Thai texts or Japanese mangas. By immersing myself in one language at a time, I allow my brain to focus on the language's unique context, which helps keep everything in order. The last one would be embrace mistakes and have fun. Lastly, and probably the most important tip, don't be afraid to make mistakes and have fun along the way. Now I'm living in Thailand, and whenever I go out to buy food, I try to speak in Thai, whether it's right or wrong. Learning multiple languages is a challenge, but it's also super rewarding. Sometimes I mix up words or pronunciation between languages, but I've learned to love it off and keep going. The more relaxed and positive you are, the more your brain can naturally sort things out. Remember, it's all part of the process, and the more fun you have, the easier it will be to keep your languages organized in your mind. So that's it for today. These are my tips on how to learn multiple languages without much confusion. If you're on multilingual journey like I am, I hope these tips help you stay on track and enjoy the process. Let me know in the comments what languages you're learning and how you keep them separate. And if you have any tips of your own, I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell so you won't miss out on my next video. Thanks for watching and see you next time.